right. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everyone can hear me this morning. I am Monica Graves, and I am out here in Colorado, and we are having a beautiful, sunshiny day for a Monday, and that gives me all kinds of great um, vibration or feeling about how this day is going to go. And today we are going to talk about a topic that a lot of people, for some reason, avoid. And that topic is on money. So I'm calling it money mindset, and on Mindset Monday. So say that a couple of times. So money mindset. What do I mean by that? I mean, what are your feelings about money? Is it something that you um, discuss regularly? Is it something that's made up in your goals for the year? A lot of times, we put those goals in our business plan, the amount of money that we want to make that year. And it's really good to actually look at it. You need to look at your expenses. You need to look at your bottom line. You need to look at your, P&L on your business because we are entrepreneurs. We are people that run a small business. And so really what I want to talk about is money in that aspect of your feelings because um, really that aspect of how you feel about money is going to talk about what I'm going to talk about today is the aspect of your vibration around money because really I'm going to be talking a lot about affirmations and scarcity mindset on abundance versus the scarcity aspect of things. And so this Monday mindset is really about the vibration that you feel. Because if we talk about affirmations and things that you can say about money, I want you to also look at the feeling. All right. The feeling is really the most important thing. So let me see if I can share my screen here. Um, Hold on just a minute. I'm going to try to get it up so that we can see it and look at a slideshow. Current slide. Okay, so here we go. So this is called Mastering Your Money Mindset. And we do want to master it, right? We do want to look at the aspect of how can we have money in our life without having negative feelings about it. And this book is what I based this on today. I don't know if you've ever read it, but The Science of Getting Rich is one of the best books that has ever been written about money and your feelings about money. And you can go to the scienceofgettingrich.net. And if you go there, you can actually get a free copy of the book. And I love this book. It was written a long time ago, pretty much around that same time Think and Grow Rich was written by Napoleon Hill. But this guy, his name is Wallace D. Wattles. And if you go there, I promise you will love getting a copy of the book and read it. It's very simple read, but it's based on, that aspect of it being science versus luck. So your money mindset can separate you from the rest. It really can. The only thing is I want you to look at as we go through this today is are you willing to let go of all the old beliefs? Now there's several old beliefs. We're going to talk about those. And I want you to just open your mind and think about how can you learn a new way about money. So first of all, as we're going through this, maybe take the time right now to think about your beliefs. What are the experiences that you've had around money? early in age. I'm sure you watched and listened to your parents about money. Those early experiences, eventually they go into your non-conscious or subconscious, and they can hang out there for your lifetime. So what we're going to try to do is change some of those negative beliefs that you might have and just have that awareness, because once you're aware of something, then you can actually um, let go. Aware of these beliefs, things that you might have, but then we need to be able to change them. Okay, so just understand that a lot of the stuff that you have had in your mindset, your money mindset, or from when you were excuse me, growing up. So think about some of these common beliefs, right? We had things that people say, money is evil, or no one in my family has ever been rich, so why should I be rich? Money can't buy happiness. Have you heard that? I've heard money can't buy happiness, but money helps. And there's a lot of negative things that you could have, like money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work really, really hard uh, to make a lot of money. Um, so I want you to think about those old beliefs, and let's talk about some new beliefs that you can actually work into. And I really base, this book, The Science of Getting Rich, is based on 6 universal principles. And those principles are something that I want you to look at today. So the first one is your personal beliefs and feelings, they actually create your personal reality. So we talk about that, like Napoleon Hill talked about it on Think and Grow Rich. But the way you think about things, those thoughts that you have, they actually create your personal reality. So, what you think about will come about. Have you ever heard of that? What you think about will come about, and money is only energy. All right? Money is energy, and it's a something that we've given a meaning to. And that meaning could mean all different kinds of things for different people. So if money is just energy, what is the energy that you have around it? So if your dominant feeling or belief, which is energy, around money is that of lack, then you will continue to attract that same. Okay, so think about it. If you have an energy around money that is negative or stressful or worrisome, then you are actually attracting that same thing to you regarding money, which means if you have an energy around lack or scarcity, then you're actually attracting more scarcity to you. Number two in the universal principles is know that your mind is very creative. So when we talk about mindset, I want you to think about how infinite your mindset is. Your mindset is based on creativity. Our mind is always working. We have like 90,000 thoughts a day. And when you have those types of thoughts around money, anything, you have thoughts coming in and out all day. Are they good thoughts? Are they positive thoughts? What kind of energy do you surround yourself with? So once you clear out all these old beliefs, then new possibilities or new energy around money will start to find ways around loving money. So when I tell people that I love money, a lot of people look at you like, I can't believe you just said that. And I said, well, because I feel that love is greater than fear, and I don't want to have fear around money. I want to have love around money. So I want you to use your mind, and we're going to go through some thoughts and visualizations so that you can attract more money and change that money mindset. That's really what you want to do, and you can focus on this later after our talk today, because there's going to be things that I'm going to ask you to do so that you can have those positive thoughts around money. Number three is we're all connected to a higher wisdom. So So when you think about that, when you think about the source, okay, where does the source for our energy come from? Well, it's coming from a higher universal type wisdom. And what I want you to think about is how can you actually quiet your mind and ask questions so that you can hear that wisdom. Now, people call it ego, um, but there's a part of your brain that you can actually ask questions, and if you are quiet enough through meditation and visualization, you can actually get the right answers. But again, there's part of that brain that's going to have that, in your neuroplasticity, that's going to collect and have all these old memories. And so when some of those old memories come up that surrounding money, I want you to just guide them away. Just say thank you for that thought and let that thought go so that you can actually bring in more positive thoughts. Number four of a universal principle is we must think that there's enough for everybody, right? Because if we think in scarcity, we're going to think that there's not enough. But if you think there is enough, then you're going to be opening your mind, you're going to be opening your energy to have more come to you. So I always use this little analogy. Think of your source for creating money as the ocean. Think how big the ocean is. And if everyone dipped a cup out of the ocean, do you think that the ocean would have less, right? So if you think about it like this, if everybody took a cup of water out of the ocean, would the ocean have less water? No, the ocean is always creating, right? It's always going to have more. So that's why I want you to think about your money as something as expansive as the ocean, and that your creativity around money is limitless. Number five of the universal principles is you need to accept and approve of yourself, because if you have negative feelings about yourself or negative connotations of things surrounding money and surrounding yourself, then again, your energy is going to be low. And Tony Robbins talks about this all the time, about that quadrant of where are you in that quadrant? Are you someone that has negative thoughts? Are you someone that is has negative energy? Or are you on the right side of the quadrant where you have a lot of energy, or you have positive energy? So again, let go of any of those old beliefs that might come up that say that you're not enough, that you can't do this. You start critiquing yourself. If you lose some money or you didn't make enough money, stop with that critiquing of yourself and just look for better ways. Look for new ways. Love yourself for doing the best that you can. And then the last one is that, forgiving yourself, because I know personally that I've made some bad mistakes with money. I am not afraid to tell people that I went through a chapter 13, which was when I had three different businesses going, and this was back in the early 2000s, right after 9/11. You know, I had a retail store, and that retail store just people quit shopping, people quit coming in. And I went for a year before we decided there's no way that we can continue with this kind of debt. And we made some mistakes with money. Everybody makes mistakes with money, but if you let it go, forgive yourself, and forgive others for the misgivings, something that might have happened to you. Are you willing to create a new relationship that's more harmonious? And so I want you guys to think about this as we go through this consciousness part of it. Because again, like I said in the beginning, being aware is the best way to open that mindset about money. So these two things, your consciousness about it and your awareness about it, can really change your relationship. Your ability to handle money, handle it well, will attract more money to you. Okay. And it just really depends on your awareness. So a lot of times people will shut themselves off when they look at their bank statements or they look at their, how much money they have saved, or they look at the stock market and they get, they all of a sudden their energy around it changes. So I want you to just be more aware of that. Does your money mindset change when you look at how much money you have? So we're going to create a new reality. All right. So creating that new reality, there's going to be some affirmations and visual images that will support and nurture your new beliefs. What are these affirmations? Affirmations are just statements that you say consciously. You can say them out loud. You can say them within your head while you're looking at things or thinking about money or you're looking at your goals. Let's say that you have a goal of making $100,000 in sales. That goal might be big to you, but you need to have that reality of it's possible. You want to have a positive and present tense with these affirmations. If you write them down, it's been proven, just like, Tony Robbins and a lot of these other gurus, when it surrounds the spirituality and the aspect of money. If you write things down and you repeat them, your non-conscious has a better um, reality about money. And so I want you to think about, they can be anything. They can be anything in that positive affirmation, but the number one thing is you have to feel it. You can't just write a bunch of affirmations down and think, okay, I'm going to manifest this. This is going to happen. You actually have to surround those affirmations with energy and feeling. So it works best when you use your imagination. If you can close your eyes and just imagine what it would feel like to have this certain amount of money. Let's just say it's $500,000, $500,000. What would you do with that? And also look at your why. Why do you feel like you should have $1 million or be a millionaire or work on towards being a billionaire? Look at that why and use your imagination. So here's some good affirmations that I've used. And because if you say stuff in that present tense, you want to say, I have, or I am, or I enjoy. Bring that, feeling to it and see it. So I have clear insight that assists me in releasing the past. You want to start that by releasing those past thoughts. I am willing to believe that I deserve a wonderful life. And this is all about deserving. Do you deserve the amount of money that you want to have in your life? And I begin my new life in this moment. So if you take these 3 affirmations and then you start working those around money, I want you to be able to create your own money affirmations. For example, I always say I'm a money magnet, and I love saying it. What has happened sometimes when I say this over and over, you can say it, like I said, inside, quietly, or you can say it out loud. But by believing that you are attracting money into your life is okay. It's okay for you to say that. It's okay for you to say, I'm a money magnet. The unexpected income is always coming my way. What a great affirmation, because we have some things that we expect to happen, right? We have these things like, we get somebody under contract. We expect this thing to close. We expect for that check to come to us. And we also want to have money come to us unexpected. It's a wonderful feeling to just say, unexpected income is coming my way. I'm an excellent money manager. This is good too, because you want to be able to have good feelings, again, around money. I can manage money well. That's a good one too. And I own more than I owe. What a great affirmation. Have you ever looked at your net worth? Have you ever sat down and looked at your net worth on here is how much I owe and here is how much I own? And when you look at that, you want to say, okay, I actually own more than I owe. I am debt free. What a great affirmation. Even if you have debt, you can still say, I am debt free, because that feeling and that energy of being debt free is what I'm really talking about on the money mindset and what I want you to look at. How does it feel to claim these new ideas? Right? Again, it all boils down to the feeling of it. Do you have a feeling of scarcity? You want to let that go. If you have a feeling of abundant, then yes, it should make you feel powerful when you think about money. And can you feel more love for yourself when it comes to money matters? All right. This is a great quote. It's from Goethe from the 19th century, and it says, whatever you can do or dream you can, just do it. Just begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. So sometimes, we don't feel very bold, or we don't feel very powerful. And if you do something, if you take action, then all of a sudden you should feel more powerful. So let's go look at the fear surrounding this. FEAR. I don't know if you've ever looked at this acronym like this for fear, but it's false evidence appearing real. In this book, The Science of Getting Rich, it talks a lot about the fear that people have about, not being able to pay their mortgage, not being able to make their car payment, or having, less money, and that fear that's always surrounding it. If you could change it, if you could just realize that you're creating it, you are creating this false evidence. And if you can change your mind about it and put more love into it and respect into it when it comes to you and how you, your money mindset, and start looking at it more abundant, the fear will go away. So look at these sentences, and I want you to share that with somebody later today. What scares me the most about going for my biggest goal? I think it's goal. Biggest dream. What scares me the most about going for my biggest dream is, all right? So a lot of times some people say I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough money. Whenever you say these kinds of things, the universe doesn't know the difference between the positive and the negative. The universe and that vibration is just going to give you more of that. So if you are saying I'm not smart enough, I'm not young enough, I don't have enough time for this, I don't have enough money to do that, because that's what I grew up with. I grew up with my mother always saying we can't afford that. And it stuck in my head. And every time I wanted something, I would tell myself I can't afford that. And I want you to be able to change those. Okay, so create a positive affirmations around it. And you can say, I am smart enough to achieve my dreams. And instead of saying I'm too young, I'm too old, you can say I'm at the perfect age to start achieving my dreams. My enthusiasm shines with everything I do. Doesn't that sound wonderful? My enthusiasm shines with everything that I do. So you're putting that positive feeling, that joy around looking at your goals and your dreams and how you're going to achieve them. And then you just take the step. So you took the step to come to this money mindset webinar. So I want you to congratulate yourself for just making some new changes by looking at this. This is recorded. You can go back and look at it. And I want you to, later today, I want you to reach out to somebody and just say, you know what? I congratulate myself for taking this step. The world is waiting for me and what I have to offer, because every single one of you guys are unique. You all have great different ways of doing things. And this book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, is such a great book. Read it when you have any type of fear come up because we all have fear about things. And if you can just still do it anyway, no matter what the circumstances, no matter what comes from it, you're going to have the power. You're going to feel power and it's going to feel great. The greatest revolution of our generation is the discovery that human beings, by changing the inner attitudes of their minds, can change the outer aspects of their lives. So again, psychologists, possibility thinking know that when it comes to money, that anything is possible. I want you to dream big, okay? I want you to have huge dreams because if you have a huge dream and you end up making that dream come true, that is just the beginning of even more dreams manifesting for you. So there has never been and never will be anyone exactly like you on the planet. Everybody's different. Everybody's unique. And so dream big and work towards those money goals. Take the risk, take that step. I love all these different quotes that I added here. The day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. So think about that. Think about being in this small little shell and it's too uncomfortable. You're going to actually bloom and blossom. And once you do that, and once your energy is on that type of level, all kinds of things are going to be happening for you. When you're growing and changing, it always helps to have somebody support you with your goals or maybe hold you accountable. So reach out to a friend, a colleague who has dreams they want to achieve, maybe a coach or a team leader, but brainstorm with somebody so that you can actually move forwards on those dreams that you have. And then you want to be very, very clear. When you have monetary goals, I want you to be very, very clear on that dream so that you can envision it clearly. I want you to be able to see that $500,000 that you have made in your goals. I do this every year in January. I start my year with a 21-day challenge because it's been proven that if you do something for 21 days, it can turn to a habit. It becomes a habit. And so I want you all to just, breathe deeply, let your shoulders relax, and then just spontaneously try to finish these sentences. You can take a screenshot here because if you do this, if you actually, think about and imagine what it would feel like, that's how you make dreams come true. So take a screenshot and write out the answers to this. And you can do this after we're done here today. But wouldn't it be really fun to blank? My biggest dream is to do this. I feel alive. You want to know what is that feeling of feeling alive when you do something and when you have your greatest satisfaction. And I feel really in tune when I am doing this because if you feel like you're in tune on doing something, you want to keep doing it, right? And then I love this last question. What would I do if I had $100 million? And just write it out. Okay. And then share it with somebody. Shift your focus. Make sure that what you focus on is good things, right? Create a life blueprint. Put it somewhere where you can read it every day. And another book, that book called The Answer is by John Assaraf, and I've got it highlighted here. Worry is a prayer for what you don't want. So if you focus on the things that you don't want, well, guess what happens? You get more of that. If you focus on enthusiasm, if you focus on happiness, if you focus on love and the things that you love to do, well, guess what? You're going to get more of that. So again, what you focus on expands. If you focus too much on a challenge, it'll never get solved. So focus on how you can change and create new things. So I think that is the last slide, or something just stopped because we're here at 9:30. Okay, so please use everything that I've gone over with you today on how to have a very, very positive money mindset. And I want you guys to really think about how to shift your focus, and shift it to being grateful, right? If you shift it to being grateful and you love the things that you have and you're grateful for things that you have, then guess what? That's a very high vibration when you are grateful and you celebrate the things that you have. When you do that, you end up attracting more. And just know that everything that you imagine can be real. Changing your money mindset is all about visualization. And you can go to this moneyning.com and check that out, because there's some great visualizations about money. And it only takes 30 seconds. And take a screenshot of this because we're running out of time. But start thinking about what life is like with the things that you want and not the things that you don't want. And then you'll start trusting yourself and know that you can make your dream a reality. Here's another screenshot. Do this every day to work out your brain. Okay? And just develop trust. Trust that the universe has your back. It's another great book, The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. So I want you to take everything that we talked about today and love yourself and surround yourself with positive thoughts about money. All right? You guys have a great week.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.